Welcome back. Dr. Adetokunbo Pierce of the University of Lagos, as we said earlier, believes North Korea's latest threats are not any different from the past. He encourages caution on the part of the United States, but insists the North will not go to war with the U.S. Dr. Pierce, thank you so much for joining us on Diplomatic Channel. Well, North Korea's threats, even though we've heard them before in the past, but now they seem more profound. Kim Jong-un, the new leader, seems to be making efforts to make good his threats against the U.S. and South Korea. Now, how seriously should the U.S. take these threats, and how seriously should the rest of the world also consider them?
I think that whenever you have a country that has the kind of weapons that North Korea has, threatening that country must be taken very seriously. However, in the last couple of weeks, I have seen signs that tell me that this is the same merry-go-round that North Korea is always involved in when it's trying to pressurize countries like America and even impress China to come back and work with it on a more friendly and on a more generous level. I really think so. Many reasons. Tourists have reported that there is very little activity going on that has deterred their travel, their movements. They have reported that there's hardly any tension going on in the country. And reports that have been coming in show that North Korea has not actually deployed forces in a way that will show that it is ready to attack anybody.
You're saying it's all propaganda. I mean, all the videos we've been seeing online of Kim Jong-un inspecting the army, inspecting warships and so on, all of that is just propaganda. No plans to act on them.
He cannot act on it. It's all propaganda. And I found out something recently too, that when they take those shots, they make over those shots to make them look more dramatic. And so what we are getting is the dress rehearsal that is some form of Hollywood.
Something you're saying now might seem like I'm digressing a little bit, but it seems that North Korea doesn't really care about its people. You just mentioned, the army has to be seen to be doing something. All of the money that they're getting in aid and so on has to be diverted towards building up an army. But it sounds like North Korea cares nothing for its people except to fight other countries and kill innocent.
Well, there is a difference between fighting South Korea and fighting the United States of America. I don't think that North Korea is ready to be wiped out. So I don't think that it's going to go all the way.
The young leader over the weekend advised foreign embassies to evacuate their staff as he cannot guarantee their safety in the event of a war or the outbreak of a war. Does the North, in your opinion, really intend to go to war?
I tell you why. I'm an observer like everybody else, but I use basic common sense analysis. If the embassies have been warned and the embassies are not leaving, you notice, the embassies have not left. That tells you that they do not feel that they're in danger. That tells you that they believe that all of this is simple rhetoric. So that's a signal to us that the leader is saying, I can't guarantee your safety, but the embassies evaluate the situation and they don't see anything to threaten their safety, so they stay. That's why I know that he's not about to attack anybody.
Well, clearly, the U.S. is not threatened by the sanctions imposed, North Korea itself is not threatened by sanctions imposed by the United Nations since it launched a nuclear missile in February. But what's the danger here? Because it seems like they defy and there are no consequences at the end of the day. Are there any implications or consequences or punishment for any country that defies sanctions and goes ahead to do what it wants to do?
Well, I think what North Korea is doing now is a type of roundabout way to plead for or rather to negotiate a lessening of the sanctions by threatening to do what is simply suicidal. So the rest of the world will say, you know, like a child, okay, take it easy. All right? We won't punish you as much as we wanted to punish you if you do not carry out this suicidal mission, because it seems that you don't care about your people. These soldiers are ready to die. But what about the people? It's the responsibility of the responsible world to think about the citizens of North Korea. So, in a way, this is a formula for negotiating a lessening of the sanctions.
You're trying to say the North cares about what other countries think?
Oh, there's no country that doesn't care. I mean, all of this is not to say we want to die. All of it is to say, look, leave us alone. We want to live like everybody else. That's the strategy. It's just that they're doing it in an aggressive way. And I think America understands that. That, look, the sanctions are also there to warn North Korea not to go too far. North Korea has seen that the whole world is hell-bent on punishing North Korea if North Korea goes too far. So North Korea will now back off a little bit and say, okay, we're not going to go that far if you lessen the pressure of the sanctions. That's what I think is going on. It's high-stakes diplomatic game.
Yeah, and it seems like British Foreign Secretary William Hague understands it, because he was warning Sunday morning that countries should be calm about the Korean crisis. He warned about the dangers of miscalculation by North Korea, while we all agree that, of course, the use of force should be the last resort when it comes to resolving disputes and so on. Is it possible for the United States and South Korea possibly, and the international community to remain calm in the face of all of these threats and to, the face of possible attacks by a rogue nation?
Well, America is already preaching calm. The rest of the United Nations are preaching calm. But you have to combine the calm with some activity to show that you're serious and that North Korea should be careful. So this is what America is doing. America is continuing with the military exercise in South Korea, and I understand they've also deployed fighter jets in South Korea, which can hit North Korea anytime. So North Korea knows that it's not going to be easy. America is ready. On the other hand, America has done something just the other day, which is to pull out, to suspend the military exercise we're planning in California, North California. If America went on with that exercise, it will imply that America is threatening to strike North Korea. To avoid that, this is something that America had planned before, but they're postponing it just to ease the tension. So you get my point. So America is actually cooling off the temperature now. At the same time, not cooling off to the point where North Korea would think that nothing is going to happen, but not pushing it too far to heat up the polity.
Well, the North has always had a problem with U.S.-South Korea military exercises. They've always said, they've always seen it as an offensive against them. And they've warned several times that these military exercises should stop or else they will attack. Now, if they eventually attack, will the U.S. be right in attacking or in retaliating? And will the rest of the world allow them to do what they want to do?
Well, before I answer that, notice that these military exercises are annual in the South, between the South Koreans and America. And every time, North Korea will complain. But the South Koreans and America are not about to attack North Korea. This exercise, according to America, is to show commitment to their allies in the zone that they will be there for them. And South Korea will be the foundation, the basis for the operation if need be. That's not to say they want to attack, but I don't blame North Korea, therefore, for threatening, for saying, well, hope you don't go too far with this, your exercise. Don't turn this exercise into a real issue. Otherwise, we are also ready. So I think it's a balance that they both achieved in a way. Now, if for some reason, and we pray to God it doesn't happen, because when you think about the implications of war, a sensitive person, even though you may not have gone to war, if you think about it, thousands of people, so many years, it will draw the country back, so many lives lost, so much property lost. It's terrible. Generations and generations to come may never recover. It's not easy to just go to war. So, if North Korea should get out of his mind and attack South Korea, or launch missile against an island of a state in the United States, definitely America will retaliate. And between America and South Korea and its allies, not just America, North Korea will be in serious trouble.
I know we've talked about this before, and you said you wanted to watch to see how things would turn out. But in your opinion, with all that's happened over the weekend, will we likely see a full-blown war?
I don't think so. Again, because of the things that I've said already, America understands, the United States, the United Nations understand that it is better not to respond as heatedly as North Korea is acting in order to salvage the situation. So, with that, I think that, and also the reports we're getting from inside North Korea that there's no tension, and military experts are saying, the kind of movements, the kind of placements that will take place if a war is about to occur is not happening in North Korea. So it's not likely to happen. But you had a question about, I don't know if you asked it already, about the allies coming into it and so on.
Well, yes, I was, since you already answered it anyway, but I will still bring it up. If the U.S. ever does go to war, of course, does it become a global thing? Because North Korea would have China, already has China as an ally, even though they're now in the position of negotiating. But if there is a war, it draws everybody else in. With the United States comes Britain, comes France, comes Germany, and, well, I'm not sure about Russia.
I think that the reason we did not have a Third World War during the Cold War period was because America knew that if it should use all its power to attack the Soviet Union, and the Soviet Union should unleash everything it has against the United States and its allies, everybody will perish. Therefore, it's not in anybody's interest. The powers that have nuclear weapons, I think, mainly do this, they use it to negotiate, not to threaten, but the threat is part of the negotiation. I don't think anybody is going to do it. If North Korea should strike America, America will retaliate and it will be justified, and not even China would argue against that. I don't think it will get into a full-blown war. There would be no need for that. It would be just retaliation. And after one strike, in response to North Korea's strike, I think that the war would calm down, will come to an end.
Dr. Pierce, thank you so much for speaking with us.
Thanks for having me.
And now it's time to see what you think. Thanks to all of you who joined in on the discussion on Facebook. Here are some of your comments. And that's a wrap on the program. Thanks for watching. Keep the comments coming on the various social media platforms, and email addresses are on your screen. I am Amarachi Ubani. Have a great week.